All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle one of the biggest, most, frustrating hurdles in building any kind of wealth, getting to that first $100,000. It can feel like you're just spinning your wheels, but believe me, understanding why it's so tough is the absolute key to getting there way, way faster. And this is the quote that really kicked this whole conversation off. It's from the late, great Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary business partner. It's blunt, for sure, but it is just packed with wisdom. He knew that this first big milestone isn't just a number on a screen. It's a financial launch pad. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what he meant by that. So first things first, let's break down the core ideas that make this initial climb feel so incredibly steep. Because once you get let's call it the physics of building wealth, the whole game just changes. Okay, the first principle is something called capital scaling. I know, it sounds like a fancy business school term, but it really just boils down to a simple and, sometimes frustrating truth. It takes money to make money. The power of your dollar literally grows as you start stacking more of them together. And this right here shows you exactly how that works in the real world. Just look at this. You invest $100 and get a 10% return. You've made $10. Not bad, right? But it's a pizza. Now invest $100,000 for that exact same 10% return. That's $10,000. Same risk, same amount of time, but a totally different outcome. That's the power you are grinding to unlock right now. The second principle, and honestly this is the really exciting part, is the snowball effect. I want you to picture your money as a tiny little snowball at the very top of a huge snowy mountain. At first, it's small. It moves slowly. But as it starts rolling, it picks up more snow, right? It gets bigger, it gets faster, and it does it all on its own. That's your money compounding. And check this out. This timeline shows that snowball in action. Let's imagine you save $10,000 a year, and you get a pretty standard 7% return. That first $100,000 takes almost 8 years. It's a grind. But then look what happens. The second 100K takes just over 5 years. The third, less than 4. You're not saving any more money, but your money itself is starting to do the heavy lifting for you. The snowball is picking up serious speed. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. That first $100,000 takes up over a quarter of the total time it takes to get to your first million in this example. All the resistance, all the friction, it's all loaded right at the very beginning of your journey. So what does that actually mean for you day to day? Well, understanding this friction means you need a major mindset shift. Early on, the secret to building wealth isn't about finding some magic stock that's going to double overnight. Nope, it's something much more simple and much more in your control. So I want you to really ask yourself this. Knowing that every single dollar you have is basically a seed for your future snowball, how does that change the way you look at a big night out with friends or buying the latest trendy gadget? Every dollar you save right now has this outsized, supercharged importance. You know, there's this simple saying that $1 million is really just a million single $1 bills, all stacked up. It sounds almost childishly simple, right? But the point is so profound. In the beginning, you have to just focus on stacking those single dollars, one by one, because every single one is a critical building block. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. Take a look at this chart. On average, when you finally hit that first 100K, a staggering 85% of it comes directly from your own savings, your own contributions. Only about 15% comes from investment returns. You are the engine at the start. Your habits, not the market, are what build that foundation. Okay, so we've covered the why it's so hard. Now let's get to the how. Let's dive into a really clear, actionable game plan to get you to that 100K milestone as fast as humanly possible. We're going to borrow a little inspiration from the classic book, The Millionaire Next Door, and think of this like a simple sports strategy. You got to play good offense, you got to play good defense, and you have to be absolutely ruthless about efficiency. First step, playing offense. This is all about one thing, increasing your income. Why? Because right now, your income is the biggest lever you can possibly pull. It literally determines the size of the shovel you're using to build that snowball. Every extra dollar you can earn, whether it's from a new skill, a side hustle, or jumping to a better paying job, it isn't just a dollar. It's a supercharged seed for your future. Next up, you gotta play defense. And look, this isn't about being cheap or depriving yourself of everything you enjoy. It's about plugging the leaks in your bucket. Every dollar that just kind of slips away without you noticing is a dollar that can't be put to work. Being intentional. knowing exactly how much you spent on takeout last year, for instance. That's what separates financial amateurs from a future millionaire. And finally, maximizing efficiency. Once you earn a dollar with your offense and save it with your defense, you have to put it in the best possible position to grow. This is the work smarter, not harder part of the game. Using a 401k or an IRA, that's like putting a tax-proof shield around your money. Getting an employer match? That is literally free money. You are doubling your investment instantly. It's about finding all those little advantages that give your snowball that extra push downhill. So as you start to put these pieces together, your offense, your defense, and your efficiency, you're not just saving money anymore. You are actively building that snowball and pushing it right to the edge of the hill, getting it ready to really start rolling. And what happens when that snowball gets really, really big? Well, remember how that first 100K took almost 8 years? After you hit your first $1 million, guess how long it takes to earn the next 100,000? Just 15 months. That is the incredible accelerating power that you are working to unleash. That's the light at the end of this tunnel. All the hard work, all the friction is right at the beginning. But you know what? So is all the opportunity. So the real question is, what's the one thing you're going to do today to get your snowball started? Whether that's opening a high-yield savings account or just canceling one subscription you don't use. The most important step you can take